Hi, I'm totally not named Dan, though you can call me that if you want, and as you can probably tell from my choice of lab coat, I've lost my fake sponsor since last video. I haven't lost, though, my passion for card gaming. And today, we're going to have a look at the first deck win me a local event in the My Hero Academia format of UniVersus. Specifically, Ochaco first version. Ochaco 1, Ochaco 1 dot, whatever you want to call it nowadays. And if you're wondering why it's taken me so long to win with this deck, it's not because the deck's bad. It's because I've not been playing it most of the time. Because unfortunately, my buddy here, Una the Sheep, also plays this deck. And I only actually get to main Ochaco like I'd like to when Una isn't there.
It's a good deck considering that the first time I used the deck, me only being 4 games into this game, I managed to come 4th.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it?
No.
Right, so we're going to quickly hop on over to my other screen, if I've got the buttons correct. You should be able to see my card bat. Because we're doing this slightly differently to how we've done it in the past. And yeah, you can see Ochaco over here. Zoom in on her a little bit to start with. See her things, response once per turn. After your charge or high attack resolves, add it to your momentum. And enhance commit, if you have 1 or more momentum, your attack gets +3 speed. You may add 1 momentum to your hand. So, 2 important things to note here. First of all, well, free momentum, free clear your card pool with that top one. That's all well and good. Second one, though, more importantly, is these are 2 separate effects. The cost is the commit. You get the buff if you have 1 or more momentum, and if this is your attack, but there is no restriction on you using this during your attack. You can use it during your opponent's just to get the second half and pick up a momentum to block with. So if you always remember what's in your face down momentum, that is an incredibly powerful ability. So of course, you will also use it offensively to pick up more attacks at times if you need those instead. I know Una uses it a lot more offensively than I do.
Yeah.
However, there is one attack you pick up from your momentum anyway, and that's Meteor Shower, which, as you can see, we run 4 copies of.
It's the best attack in the deck, so why wouldn't you run 4?
Yeah, Meteor Shower has a pretty crappy block, but on the offense, it's incredible. It's what makes this character the loopy character that she is. Because this is when it goes to momentum, it goes face up. And then from momentum, you can just replace any card in your hand with this card. But even more than that, you also have the ability to, when you play this card, discard one of your other momentum, replace it with one of this card from your discard pile. So basically, you can just always be looping 4 Meteor Showers as long as you've seen them in some respect.
Which even makes you checking one not that bad if you have one in play, because you can just get it back by discarding a momentum, which, if it's face down, it's probably not doing much anyway.
Yeah, you have to commit for it if you get that bad check, but you get the advantage of having an extra attack. So it's a nice trade-off.
Yeah.
And
well,
this works.
You may get lucky and just do it when you're doing a foundation, which are like 1 to 3 check normally anyway.
Yeah. That's Meteor Shower. We do have one other kill card in the deck, which is a rather different strategy, and that's Home Run Comet. Home Run Comet, unlike Meteor Shower, wants to stay in your card pool, wants other things to stay in your card pool, because it gives you a free momentum, and then it gives you +1 to your powerful rating for each charge or high attack in your card pool. But let's be real, in this deck, that's each attack in your card pool. So even if this is your 3rd attack, that suddenly this goes up to powerful 4, that momentum is +4 damage. If you've picked up another momentum, that's +8 damage, you're dealing 12 already. This gets silly. So this is if you need to kill with big damage. Meteor Shower is if you need to kill with looping loads and loads of attacks.
But they can work out, and you can do all your Meteor Shower looping, and then if you've still got a bit of card in your foundation to raise up your checks, You can always then just home run comic to get that final push, and I've done that more than once.
Yeah, home run comic can also just be used as an attack in its own right, but these are two different kill strategies, and to get the most out of home run comic, you need to be not doing a meteor shower loop. So then we do have little supports for both of them. If we're running meteor shower, if we're going with that loop, we have amphibious ambush to go with it. Amphibious ambush combos on a ranged. Meteor shower is literally the only range in our deck. What this does is it puts a card into our opponent's card pool to make their life more difficult. It gets rid of the effect of one of their foundations, which is just nice, you know. And, more importantly, it adds Meteor Shower to your momentum so that you don't have to use your character ability on it. So you go Meteor Shower, Amphibious Ambush, put the Meteor Shower into your momentum with Amphibious Ambush. When Amphibious Ambush resolves, use Ochaco herself to put that into momentum. You already have the ability to get the Meteor Shower back during the Amphibious Ambush. And then you can commit character during the Meteor Shower to pick back up the Amphibious Ambush and do it all over again.
It's a really fun loop.
Amphibious Ambush, not the best attack in the deck, but definitely combos with Meteor Shower oh so well. So yeah, has its great uses even if it doesn't work with anything else so well.
It's also a pretty okay block with it being a low 2.
Yeah, and it is one of the few lows in the deck, because this deck is a little imbalanced with blocks. You'll see why later.
Yeah, I've always found it's nice to sometimes just grab that off of defensively with the Ochaco commit, just to have that low block.
Absolutely. But here's another low block. It works a little bit better with some of the other moves. This actually works best with Home Run Comet. Because this is, it goes to your momentum, you flip it for +3 damage, and then it's a face-down momentum that you can discard, and you lose nothing when you do so, really. I mean, yeah, it's a 0 speed, so your opponent's probably going to block it, but here's the thing. It goes to your momentum anyway because of your character, so it really doesn't matter. And if they're blocking this, they're wasting a card that could have blocked something else.
Yeah.
The other thing is this is a 3 difficulty, so on the loop strategy with Meteor Shower, you can end up just throwing this out as your last attack when you know that you can't make anything more than a 5. And so, yeah, it can be that last-ditch extra 4 damage you need to win sometimes if your opponent's out of hand and you've not really got the ability to play anything else. Despite the fact that it's incredibly blockable, this is actually a really good card. And the final attack, because yes, we run 20 attacks, this is a very attack-heavy deck, is Zero Gravity Lift. Zero Gravity Lift just basically, as an enhance, does what Ochaco does, puts an attack into the momentum on resolution. And it's a throw, so it's guaranteed damage. But, you know, guaranteed 3 damage, it's nice and all. It's not the end of the world for your opponent. The big thing here is that you just get an extra instance of Ochaco during your turn. So it's basically a free attack. And the fact that it's a free attack that's guaranteed to do some damage is really nice. Uni there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just checking because you don't seem to be saying much.
Yeah, I just don't want to interrupt you, that's all.
Hey, you've played the deck as much as I have. Feel free to interrupt me.
True. But yeah, it's real nice just keeping that loop going.
That's all of the attacks in the deck. Now let's see what foundations support that. So the first one and biggest one is... Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Wealthy Aspirations here. Wealthy Aspirations is a unique foundation, so it might seem weird that we're running 4 of it, but I'll talk about that a bit in the future. It's got 2 abilities. This first one, basically irrelevant. Do not use that, it's a waste. What you want is this bottom ability, the Response Flip, which is after a card's added to your momentum, you add the top card of your deck to your momentum. You get an extra momentum, that's basically just allows you to put an extra Meteor Shower in there when you use Meteor Shower, or it gives you extra powerful on that Home Run Comet.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just, whatever you're doing, do it more.
Yeah.
This is fantastic, and you get momentum so easily. Or at least you get 1 momentum so easily. But you can really easily trigger that, get a second momentum. But you don't get a second momentum so easily otherwise. So this really enables the character a lot.
Yeah. And it's so great because it's a flip, meaning that you can do it more than once. Which is why there's obviously 4 of it in there.
Yeah, this stays as a face
also
down.
obtain as well, if I remember right. Because if you have them done right, you can have them both going to the stage, and then you can flip one, and then the second one will come down and still be able to be used.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a future video, because there is some very ridiculous nonsense you can do with this. But yeah, the fact that it flips and goes face down means you keep the foundation, but you don't keep it as a wealthy aspiration, so it ignores the fact that it's unique, which is oh so good. And that's why we can still run 4 of it. Also, it's a really nice low block at a +1, but
yeah,
that's just a bonus.
yeah.
Then we have Encouraging Training Partner. This has Flip change this attack speed to 4. That seems like it would really support your zero gravity capture, which is a 0 speed, for example. It kind of does, but mostly you want to use this defensively against characters like Ida, so that they go up to something like 12 speed, and you're just like, no, it's 4 now, I'm blocking it.
Yeah.
You can also use this to negate damage a little bit with that top response, but that's no big deal.
Yeah, I've done that before against Ida at locals. So I think they had like 20 speed, and then because I left that as my final enhanced, I just flipped that when they were finished, and then we went to 4, and I could very easily block it.
Yep, and it doesn't even matter if you block off zone, because we also have Wall Cling in here.
Yep, such a good card.
Yeah, it's a 4 check, and it's a bad block, but it's also, it just negates throws, which is really useful, and it negates zone mattering, really. And yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah.
So darn good. You want to run Wall Cling in basically any deck that can, even though it's a 4 check. And if you can find a way to unflip it, all the better. And yeah, speaking of zones, infinite potential. Yeah, you can see this is my Sonic version of it, but it's still infinite potential. And this just changes the zone of your opponent's attack to high. So we can get away with running a few extra high blocks. And again, it's a flip, so you don't lose the foundation, you just lose the ability.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's our first one. Our second one is Amphibious, which is a once per turn, just ready itself. And that's if a card has left your card pool this turn. So if you've used your character, it's automatically triggered.
Yeah, well, you don't need to sometimes use your character. You can just use the zero gravity lift on that as well.
Yeah, there are other ways of doing it, but using your character is the main one. And it's just so free to activate Amphibious, basically.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I need to commit something for a check. Amphibious. Oh, then enhance, I just ready it back up. It's just so useful, especially if you can get, say, 2 of them down.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
just do so much.
Now, this isn't as amazing here as it is in Tsuyu, because Tsuyu can clear her card pool on the opponent's turn as well, and get 3 uses out of it. But even so, it's a darn good card in Ochaco.
But yeah, it's better somewhere else, potentially, but it's still great here.
Exactly. And then we have Bonds of Friendship. It's just a 1/6, and it's a nice high block. We needed some good blocks in here, and obviously high is our zone of choice. The -3 damage to Fury attacks. It'll matter against some characters, but not most.
Yeah. It's good. At least it's got some use.
And the main use of that is Shigaraki. If you have 2 Bonds of Friendship out, you negate one of his attacks, and then you don't take the -5 health. So it basically, for the cost of flipping 2 foundations, you save yourself something like 11 health loss.
Which is always great.
Yeah, outside of that, that ability is not really relevant. It's just there because it's a 1 difficulty with a really nice block and a really nice check.
Yeah.
But speaking of really nice difficulties, and pretty good high blocks, we have Release here. Now this does check a 4, but it also gives you +2 to your block check if you destroy a foundation. Obviously, you don't want to be destroying foundations all the time, but it's a nice last-ditch thing. And if you've got face downs, then they've not got the abilities anymore anyway. And just that 0 is so good. That lets you play an extra foundation, basically.
Yeah, it's great, especially going first, just to get that. Oh, I've got 3 things in the thing. Oh, I want a 4. You just play Release, and you know you're going to check it.
Exactly.
Well, if you go in second, you could do that after you've done 4, and know you can still hit it if you've not committed your character yet.
Exactly. And then here we have Rescue Completed, which is a 3. which means if you're playing this first. That's why we only run 2 of it, because you never want to see 2 of it. And this has, you can commit any foundation to give an attack +1 or -2 speed. So, I mean, basically it's another release in that regard, but it's a release that doesn't actually destroy the foundation and can be used defensively as well.
Yeah.
But,
I think even once I've used them both in the same turn, where I've destroyed something with release to get the +2 and then committed the release to get another -2.
but also, if you flip 2 things, you can commit them to the minus speed and then destroy this to ready the flipped foundations so that you can use them to block. Honestly, destroying 1 foundation to ready 2 with no abilities is not the best, but it can sometimes matter still.
Yeah. It's once won me a game with attacking because I just needed a few more things to commit.
Yeah, exactly, and it'll do the same on defense too.
Yeah.
And yeah, here's the whole deck for you.
It's a really fun deck, and it's as someone who was literally had not been playing UniVersus for long, it was very easy for me to pick up as well. Like once you learn how the loop with the attacks, but that's all you really need to know. From what I've had experience with other card games, but it is still very different to what I'm used to with card games.
I find that interesting because for me, this is one of the more intelligent decks I've played. This is very much you start your turn and you immediately go through in your head everything that's going to happen because you've got to work out what the optimal loop is before you ever play a card.
Yeah, but once you figure out when and where to play attacks, like, when to use a foundation, because they're all pretty much have 1 or 2 uses and such. But once if you can work out your attacks, that's all there really is to it. That might just me find it a bit easier from playing like Yu-Gi-Oh! With all the combo heavy decks, whereas that was you doing that every turn with there being just a billion different lines for things. But
Yu-Gi-Oh's BS.
Which that might be why I don't find this too difficult. I still mess up because I'm still new to the deck, but
if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're actually reading the cards and working out how your deck works from scratch, then I don't know how you're managing that. Just straight up. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is insane with some of its things. I did literally see someone put together a combo that was play your entire deck in 1 turn.
Yeah.
And it was not just play your entire deck, it was play your entire deck card by card, the exact right cards, or it doesn't work. And just, how does somebody figure that out?
Because some Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have too much time on their hands.
Yeah, I don't. I stream 16 hours a week. But yeah. This is very much a figure out the loops, figure out everything kind of deck. It is a nice, thinky combo deck, and it throws out so many attacks, or it throws out so much damage, depending on which way you go with it.
Yeah. That's what I do like about it. It is variable. It's like, do I need to do a lot of smaller blocks to stop meteor showers? But if they decide to do that and you go home run commit, you can punish them quite a lot with that. Or if they think you're going to home run commit, because they know you've added that back because of your momentum with Ochaco, they think, that's going to be your final swing, but you can grab that as, say, a bluff.
Yeah, I mean, you can even discard it to pick up the meteor shower again if you really need.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this deck, and it won me this nice little Victory Plus Ultra.
Gotta love the shiny cardboard.
Well, weirdly, it's not even the shiny that I love. It's just that victory on there means far more to me than I ever thought it would.
Yeah, even the card saying you're winning,
Yeah.
What card games do that,
Digimon.
True, but that's why you like that one.
Winner on the cards.
True. But like Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't do that. You just get a special card for winning.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Gives you Victory Dragon. That literally says you're a winner, right?
Well, Victory Day is not even legal anymore.
No, I can see why, because it caused all sorts of weird rules shenanigans.
It's because you can surrender at any time. So as soon as they go, I attack with Victory Dragon, they go, I scoop game 2. When if they attacked with Victory Dragon,
so obviously they had to introduce. Obviously, they had to introduce a you can't surrender while Victory Dragon's attacking rule, but then you've got a you can't surrender rule, and that's not okay. Then your opponent just attacks with Victory Dragon and then just pulls off some ridiculous when attacking combo and just basically says, you have to sit here for half an hour and can't surrender.
Well, I don't think they even put a rule in for that. It was just there was obviously kids or people who had the thing as like going, wait, you can do that, and they were just seemed very unsportsmanshipy, so that's why they banned it.
I thought the rule did exist for a short while, but you know, it was a bad idea. It should never have happened if it did.
It was a jump promo, so obviously a bunch of kids had it, and they say, oh, win the match for them. They're going to try and play it. And then they go to, oh, I surrender. It's like, but I was going to win the match. I'm like, no. So they get a judge or someone, when they just say, yeah, they can just to stop the effect. So, it's fun.
Dumb promos that lots of kids had. Do you ever see Birthday Pikachu?
Yeah.
Because that one, it had red text saying this isn't tournament legal in the Japanese printing. For some reason, they just left that off the English language version.
Yeah, and so you just say it was your birthday.
For just under a week, it was tournament legal. And yeah, people were just showing up to tournaments and saying it was their birthday. And judges were like, well, we can't require people to bring birth certificates. Kids have these cards.
Mm.
And so, yeah, in under a week, they banned it. But it was legal for a short while.
You see, Pokemon didn't even really have a ban list either. They just set rotate most of the time. So to get some banned in Pokemon, it needs to do a lot.
Most games set rotate. It's really just Yu-Gi-Oh that doesn't. Oh.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much of this Yu-Gi-Oh talk I'm going to leave in, but that's it from us today. And catch you in the next video where we explain Wealthy Aspirations some more. Bye.